What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy. Can't tell you YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are lit, man. Turn. Hey, motherfucker, day. You're hitting outside. Big crib in it. Gang, you're hitting outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia do your thing, and Texas, stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, I'll fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are. But also, always remember you're a Hebrew Israelite. Keep Yahweh first, man. And we in this bit. Alright. Today, motherfucker, day. You're hitting outside. Big crib in it. Gang, you're hitting outside shit, man. Hey, man, say, man. I'm not going to cap, gang. The NBA playoffs have nothing been short of boring. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, a lot of teams is not making it. Tell me the fuck why the fucking Grizzlies, bruh, Memphis, got swept by Thunder, bitch. I did not know that. The Memphis Grizzlies got swept. Damn, J.A. Morant. What? That's what I said, man. I was like, Crip, I was going like, man, I'm going to try to watch the Memphis Grizzlies, and I was going to do this and that. I was like, somebody was telling me not to watch this shit. Nigga, they got swept. Nigga, like, what the fuck? I guess that's why the Thunder was number one in the motherfucking West. I guess so. But, hey, man, this is a good game. The Rockets versus the Warriors game. Hey, man, say, man, this is like a heated back-to-back series, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I fuck with the Warriors. I kind of fuck with the Rockets. They all right. You know what I'm saying? But they had James Harden. They alive. But you know how it goes, man. But, Crip, man, however this team is, man, I feel like, man, they got a strong leader in, like, Van Fleet. You know, he won a championship. So, it's like, you know what I'm saying? He got experience. But the Warriors, man, you know, they got Curry, Draymond, Jimmy Buckets. So we have the game, man. I hope y'all have been watching, enjoying these videos, man. Continue to support your boy, man. Please like and subscribe these videos up. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it real out here, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all fuck with your boy, and let's get into it. What's up? It's your boy. Can't you on YouTube shit? Hey, man, say, man, we are lit entertainment, man. Turn. Today, motherfucking day. You're hitting outside. Big crib in the gang. You're hitting outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia do your thing, and Texas, stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you are, but also don't put yourself in a position of belong. Let's get on the revolution. Let's get on the movement. Keep Yahweh first. Let's stay humble, and let's get into this bitch. Alright. Today, it's a motherfucking day. You're hitting outside. Big crib in the gang. You're hitting outside shit, man. Gang. So look at this shit, man. Hey, man, say, man. Shedeur Sanders. Let that sink in. We watched Shedeur Sanders play football last year. Check it out. Y'all can look up Kevin Two Turn Shedeur Sanders football. Watched it. Yeah. But unfortunately, they did not do that good. So we ended up watching the Texas series. But they had another year. I didn't get to really watch this year. Crap. But at the same time, man, I feel like what I have seen from Shedeur Sanders is he's decent. Is he Lamar Jackson? No. Can he move and run with the football? Hell yeah. This nigga look pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, no cap. Pause. But at the same time, you know, I feel like it do be certain things that he do be lacking. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of it, you can't really do nothing about. His frame, I mean, he can make his arm a little bit stronger, but like, you know, what I've seen from him, he performs. You know what I'm saying? He don't win every game. He do like speak like critical moments where he don't be winning. But shit, for what a quarterback, what they need to do, and a nigga who's not fucking injured and who got good potential, get the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So we have the draft, lot the draft, but like they talking about it, and we got like a little video about the draft. It's weird. Like I just don't understand, Crip, like how they got that nigga like in the 5th round. What the fuck going on?
Alright, gang. We better find out why Shedeur Sanders fell so far down the draft, gang. Like, Crip. When I watched him, he was doing alright. I know we were watching his Buffalo highlights when he was at Buffalo. They didn't do as great as we thought they was, but they progressed. You know, it was a horrible team before they got here. So let's see. Crip.
Well, the wait is over. Shedeur Sanders has heard his name called and is headed to the Cleveland Browns with the 144th pick in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft. The Browns have now taken 2 quarterbacks in this draft after they selected Oregon's Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. For much more on Shedeur Sanders heading to Cleveland, let's go ahead and welcome in our own Pete Prisco for more. Pete, great to see you. Let's go ahead and start with your initial thoughts. Shedeur headed to Cleveland.
My long national nightmare is finally over. Now we can focus on the rest of the people in this draft. Look, the league spoke and
I get hated around the back
about what they thought about Shedeur Sanders. The Cleveland Browns spoke loudly about what they thought about Shedeur Sanders. They didn't pick him in the 1st round. They didn't pick him in the 2nd or 3rd round.
Down to the 5th
Dylan
round
Gabriel
is insane.
in the 3rd round, and then they waited until the 5th round to take Shedeur Sanders. There's
and
a
the
lesson
Browns
here. And the lesson is, don't
shit.
believe your own evaluations all the time. And that's why there's so much pushback
going
here.
through some
How
shit.
many guys, draft analysts, are sitting there saying, I had him as a top-rated quarterback. I had him number 5 on my board. How dare they do this? You know what? It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the league thinks. And the league spoke loudly. The Cleveland Browns spoke loudly. Now he's going to have to go in and win a job as a backup. Well, there you have it. It's there for you, Shedeur.
I guess that's how it goes, you know.
Complaining that everybody did. Go be
they gonna try to hate on motherfuckers
when they
can.
Quarterback of the National Football League,
Sure,
and then the Cleveland Browns don't have to worry about taking one next year.
All right, I want to get some more voices in on this because I'm not sure if it was a big sigh of relief or what it was, but from the guys in our set on CBS Sports HQ, it's Emery Hunt and Damian Harris. I want to give you a chance to respond to what we heard from Pete Prisco. Damian, I'll start with you first.
Well, if Pete Prisco were still here, what I would ask him, when he says the league has spoken, the Cleveland Browns have spoken about how they feel about Shedeur, I would ask him this: is it about his play, or is it about him and his camp and everything that surrounds him? Because I feel like Pete is playing it safe by saying, oh, well, this is what they think about you. This is where you got drafted. It doesn't matter what you think or what people thought where you might get drafted. The league has spoken. But is that about your play? Because if it's about his tape and how he plays as a quarterback, I unequivocally disagree.
All right, let's get Pete to clarify here, because Pete, you are still with us. Your take on that?
It's always about your play, and here's the thing. Shedeur Sanders is here as a player, okay? And you're here with the distractions. And we know if a player's up here as a player, you can deal with these distractions. If he's down here, you can't deal with the distractions as much. And by distractions, I mean this. He wasn't great in his interviews. He came off standoffish. I can't tell you how many teams told me it was disappointing the way he handled himself in the interviews.
He probably used to it. Y'all be looking for motherfuckers
and I'm not
to be
talking about his father, because
like,
I think teams can handle Deion
scared
Sanders.
and shit.
It's just
He
the
confident.
other stuff doesn't make it worth taking him based on his talent. And like I said
So
yesterday,
y'all getting mad because of interviews?
John Elway didn't want to play for the Baltimore
It's
Colts back in
talent.
the day.
Bitch, over,
He worked
it's
himself
not
to get
over
out of that and go
interviews,
to the
bitch.
Denver Broncos. But John Elway was John Elway. If you took Shedeur Sanders, everything going on with him right now, a father who's involved, a father who speaks his mind, the social media stuff, the fact he didn't interview well, and he was
This
John
nigga gotta go
Elway,
through five
he would have been a
good-
first-round pick,
almost
maybe the
five
first
good
pick.
quarterbacks.
It always goes back to talent. He is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. And, we talk about college production.
Damn, that's
I
a
could go
list.
on and
You
on.
gotta start
Danny
over.
Werfel might have been one of the greatest college quarterbacks ever. Couldn't play in the NFL. He just couldn't. Sometimes it doesn't translate. I don't think his skill set is what everybody else thinks it is. I thought he'd be a second or third round pick. He's fallen a little further than I thought he would, but the reality is he's not worth the aggravation if you're a backup quarterback.
But Pete, I do want to respond to that and say we just had this conversation a couple of nights ago where I brought up the fact of if you don't want to deal with all of those external factors, then you look at Shedeur and his talent through a different lens because you don't want to deal with the distraction. Now we're having the conversation about, well, yes, if your talent is up here,
Well, why would
we'll
they-
deal with those distractions.
Browns
But
draft them-
to Pete's standard,
I mean, I'm glad
his
he
talent is
drafted,
not up here;
but
it's going down here.
five
So then,
quarterbacks.
therefore, you don't want to deal with those external factors, which to me sounds like you are evaluating his talent. You are evaluating him not just purely off of his play, off of how he plays as a quarterback, but you were also
Pretty guy,
factoring
he gets
other
some
things in,
starting
and you
time.
were seeing it through a strained lens.
So here's my thing, and I
To
like
sit
to
on the
unpack
bench,
this
man,
whole
gotta start
thing
with-
that we're talking about.
to
Because when you
get
think
the
about
QB
Shedeur Sanders,
number one.
and to Pete's point, if people are looking at him as a distraction, what if people had that view of him coming in? So if you look at some of the comments that came out of some of these quote-unquote interviews in that anonymous article with those sources, one guy said, he makes you feel small. Are you talking about Shedeur, or are you talking about his dad?
Right.
Because if you're a grown man and you say this kid makes you feel small, that makes no sense to me on his face.
Damn.
And if we're talking about the talent, every time we show these Shedeur Sanders clips and highlights and tape, it's a lot of big plays, a lot of deep passes, a lot of plays off script, all the things that they look for. So I know the tape component of it was kind of bogus in my eyes. This is a guy that you see this third down offense versus pressure versus a blitz. Overall, end of game situations. He had 11 game-winning drives or comeback drives in his career at both Jackson State and Colorado. And also with the point that people love to say the league spoke. Did they speak when they took Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes? Did they speak when they let Lamar Jackson fall to pick 32? Did they speak when they took guys that we've seen flame out time and time again? So the good part about this, it's all football now.
Yes.
And I love that they did take two quarterbacks. So we see this a lot. People say, oh, well, if you don't have two, if you take quarterbacks every year, if you're Dylan Gabriel, if you're Shedeur Sanders, go out there and compete, play the best. And if you're the Browns, they probably played the Steelers like a fiddle because you have two quarterbacks that's going to go out there and compete. They're probably going to both play well. One guy is going to find his way on another team, and the Browns get their value back with a pick that they just selected, Shedeur Sanders.
And can you explain to the people why the Cleveland Browns just might want to play the Pittsburgh Steelers like a fiddle? Is there a reason why?
Because they played themselves waiting for someone to make a decision on who, if they, and the ultimate catchback would be if that guy that goes unnamed here decides, I want to retire.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah, Joe
Pete
Flacco
Frisco,
could retire.
we'll get you in here for the final word.
Now, wait a second. Emery, how did they play the Steelers like a fiddle? If the Steelers wanted any one of those two quarterbacks, they could have picked them themselves. They didn't want them. They didn't want either one of them. How'd they play them like a fiddle?
Every other team said they didn't want these quarterbacks, right? But here we are talking about these quarterbacks. So we know
That's all anybody talks about.
we know this is the whole point. The league was making a statement saying we are not for the power play coming from the player. It wasn't about Shedeur Sanders' tape. Because to your point, if he was
It was exactly about his tape.
that's the foil, man. It was not about it.
Hell no. Because if Shedeur Sanders didn't get all that publicity on the negative side, they would have dropped this nigga like ahead of everybody.
No. Is he athletic? No. Does he have a great arm? No. Is he stand in the pocket and hold the damn football for half an hour? Absolutely. He does some good things, but there are so many negatives working against him. It wasn't just It wasn't just the off-the-field stuff. It wasn't just the interviews. The tape factors, and it matters. And all this talk about collusion, anybody who brings that up is being just an idiot. And I'm telling you,
Hell nah, bitch, y'all always know fucking owners and
Shedeur
I don't want
Sanders.
people, motherfuckers on the team and shit.
It seems like
I always try to treat a black man different, especially when he got his own swag and got his confidence. That's just what it is. Y'all want niggas to shut the fuck up, but niggas talking, y'all don't like that.
Been drafted because when you look at his tape, when you look at his numbers, when you watch the kid play, you're sitting here saying, "Oh, well, there's too many negatives." Okay, he's not big. Okay, yeah, he holds the ball.
He still performed.
Who's blocking for him? If he doesn't have any
was
time,
trash.
what is he
The whole
supposed to
team was
do?
trash before he got here. They only won one game.
Play and expect him to take it for a
Yes, he
touchdown.
could.
So yes, he does.
Nigga,
have
it's a
to
whole
hold the ball
fucking
sometimes
coaching
and let the concepts
franchise,
develop down
nigga.
the field. Now you want to talk
Word
about,
ass.
oh, he doesn't have the strongest arm. Oh, he's not mobile. Oh,
try to
he
get
doesn't
mad
do
'cause they
these
know we
things. Outside
know
of
what
you
to
said
do
about
with
him
the
not being
shit.
big, you know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like Tom Brady, a man that won seven Super Bowls. I've even seen Shedeur be compared to Tom Brady, which yes, we shouldn't do that because Tom is Tom. But at the end of the day, when you're comparing what they tangibly have and what they can bring to an organization as far as what talent they have, there are a lot of things that Shedeur has that Tom Brady walked in the league and he had the exact same thing.
Let me rap to him for a minute. Pete.
Tom
here's
Brady
his
cheated
strengths.
100 times to
Accuracy,
get to that position.
Anticipation, timing, touch, end of game situation of football. That's elite
Him and the
traits,
coach.
right?
Let me ask you this, okay? You guys remember Danny Werfel? I'm going to go back in
Saints
time.
fan,
Danny
yes.
Werfel might have been. Danny Werfel might have been one of the best to ever play the game throwing the football on the college level. Accuracy, timing, toughness. He didn't have a great arm. And therefore, he wasn't a guy that people wanted in the National Football League. Sometimes you lack the traits. Every NFL general manager is looking for the traits. Shedeur Sanders lacks traits. He lacks the one. Is
Which
there
ones?
anything about his game? He doesn't have great size. He's not a great athlete. He doesn't have a great arm, and he holds.
And
the
he
football.
still
There's a lot of
performs.
traits he doesn't have.
So you do say all that, and he
You can be a
still
good
performs.
college
Shedeur
player
Sanders
and
still
not have it
performs.
translate to the next level. We've seen that time and time
He
again.
don't have none of the
Particularly in
tangibles, but still
quarterback
be performing
position.
out here
And
on
Gardner
motherfucking
Minshew put
field.
up tons of numbers
What
in
they
college
talking
at
about?
Washington State. Is he any good in the
They just
NFL?
wanna- they just wanna hate to make
Graham
it
Harrell,
just
remember
to
that
try to
guy? He put up
make it
monster
understand
numbers
why he
in
in the
college. Is he
fifth
any good in the
round.
NFL? No.
Niggas should been
Sometimes
released in the
you're a
second and
good
third
college
round,
quarterback,
nigga.
and that's what you are.
So when he hits the field, first of all, he's 6'2", 214, and Cam Ward is 6'2", 220. I mean, that's
At least the third
they both
round.
about the
Like,
same
fifth
size. At the
round
end of the day, when you think about
for the Browns,
someone
nigga,
like
over a
Shedeur
fire quarterback
and playing in an
situation, the
offense,
fuck going on?
I don't want to take the coaches off the hook. This is Stefanski's job to get all of the best out of these quarterbacks because that's different styles from Gabriel and Sanders. But at the end of the day, if Shedeur
But hey,
plays
I'll be
position,
drafted, you
how
know what
he
I'm saying?
runs
Shit,
how he
he's
runs
probably
his
better than no
offense, we
spot.
should
Let's
see
get
the best
honest.
of Shedeur, and it should work for Cleveland.
No, hold on, Jordan.
Let me
Hold
ask
on.
you this. Wait, I want to ask you this real quick. Did the Browns not speak by taking Dylan Gabriel in the third round and this guy in the fifth? Doesn't that send a message?
They spoke by taking
Dylan
Shedeur.
Gabriel was better?
But that's gonna be my next question, Pete. What are the tangible traits that Dylan Gabriel has that Shedeur Sanders does not?
Well, he's got a better arm for one.
Is he taller?
There's no doubt about that.
All right, you guys, we'll leave it there because we're going to be talking about this for weeks to come, for sure. But I go back to something you mentioned, Emery. It's all football now. The speculation and storylines can kind of be put to bed as he is going to Cleveland, as you see here. Shedeur Sanders sent this out on X just moments ago saying, "Thank you, God." All right, for more on this, let's go ahead and welcome in another voice. It's our own NFL lead insider, Jonathan Jones. JJ, sorry it took us a little bit there to get to you, but after hearing just a mouthful, your reaction to this news, Shedeur Sanders headed to Cleveland.
That's wild.
Well, look, I am surprised that it's the Cleveland Browns based off of them taking Dylan Gabriel yesterday. When you consider their quarterback room, okay, yes, they have Deshaun Watson. He's injured with that second Achilles tear. I believe he's probably going to start on the physically unable to perform list. I don't believe that he's going to play football for the Cleveland Browns ever again. But he will or will not count against their 53-man roster.
Damn, Deshaun Watson got a second
so now you have
Achilles
four
tear?
quarterbacks. You have Joe Flacco on a 1-year, $4 million deal, veteran, right? You have Kenny Pickett that you just traded for, not just traded a pick for, but traded a young quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson for. And so you imagine that going into training camp, Those are going to be the two who are battling for QB1. That is at least going into training camp. I'm not saying about who's going to be the week 1 starter.
Damn, Deshaun Watson got a second Achilles tear on his different ankle. Is going to be tough.
Sanders splitting QB3 and QB4 reps.
It's like they probably want to get rid of him because they owe him a lot of money on. They going to have to pay that nigga till he, like,
clearly beat out the other. That is how quarterback competitions work. But if you're
second
QB4,
Achilles tear,
you're not getting a ton of reps in practice. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. How Shedeur Sanders, who I think right now, having just been drafted, let's take Deshaun Watson out of this since he's not going to be able to perform. I think at best, he will begin in training camp as QB3, right? And we would probably say QB4 based on logic since they took Dylan Gabriel in round 3 versus Shedeur Sanders in round 5. And then what you have to consider is, will this team, even if the Cleveland Browns are blown away by all 4 of these quarterbacks, will they keep all 4 on their roster? Will one of Dylan Gabriel or Deshaun Watson be released and then signed to the practice squad? And so, yes, he is drafted. I don't know that it is a cinch that he will be on the week 1 roster for all of the reasons I just laid out, just basic football arithmetic. But he will absolutely, now that all this is over, right? And what I mean by all this over, I mean that now that we don't have to really comment anymore on why he fell. He's with the team. Now it's all about being a football meritocracy. Go show it on the field. Whatever we want to say about his team, whatever we want to say about how he conducted himself in the pre-draft process, whatever
ain't no drug out here, nigga.
Up to that point,
extra weak shit.
Go win the job. That's what it's about. Right. And so we will be able, I think, to be able to see what it is about beginning when he gets out there in rookie minicamp here in the next couple of days.
Most definitely. Let's go ahead and piggyback off of that point from JJ as we bring it back to the desk here. He mentioned it and laid out this quarterback room: Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco. Do you believe this is a quarterback room he can compete in?
This is why I'm always excited about rookies getting drafted in the NFL. The reason being, you can't fake live action, and those happen in the game.
Y'all hear that talk? They trying to prank call that nigga Shedeur Sanders. They got drafted
situations to ball out. So when people
somebody sued them niggas, sued them for not drafting Shedeur Sanders or some shit.
Russell Wilson was gonna beat out Matt Flynn in Seattle, even as a 3rd round pick. I was like, because of the preseason games. We are watching these late 3rd and 4th quarter games where these guys in these chaotic situations are able to thrive. Guess who thrives in chaotic situations? Shedeur Sanders. Guess who thrives in the game situation where you got to come back in these preseason games? Shedeur Sanders. So Dylan Gabriel is a good player too. He can thrive as well in the preseason setting. It's not even about Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett or Deshaun Watson. It's about these 2 guys thriving in the preseason, elevating their value. Now, to JJ's point, whether or not it's Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel that's going to be on the Browns roster, if they both play well, one of these guys becomes a significant trade chip, and his collegiate tape shows you that this is someone that you want on your football team. He plays a lot like Joe Burrow. Zoom in on my eyeballs when I said he is a Joe Burrow clone. Everything that you knock about Shedeur is what they knocked about Burrow.
Hell
Everything that you like about Burrow is what you like about Shedeur.
He's better than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow ain't do shit. He went to one Super Bowl and
just laid it out. I mean, again, like I'd go back to what P said. Outside of Tom Brady having a 6'5" frame, there's no difference. They have the same intangibles. Like you said, what you love about Joe Burrow is what you hate about Shedeur Sanders. What you hate about Shedeur Sanders, you love about Joe Burrow. It makes no sense, but what matters is the fact that, again, his name has been called. He has a home. Now it's time for you to show up and deliver, because like we have sat up here and said, you and I, you included, we have sat up here and said Shedeur Sanders should not have been, he should not have fallen to the 5th round. Now we all expect him to go and show and prove why he should have been taken higher. Why we're sitting here saying, well, there's a potential that the NFL had an agenda. There's a potential that they just wanted to, they had a power struggle with the primes, with the Sanders. All of that is put to bed. Go out there, win you a job, put it all on the field.
I just want the Deion Sanders sneakers in Cleveland Brown colors. I just want those orange and white sneaks. That's all I'm caring about right now. I'm still good, Deion. Send me those sneaks too.
The wheels fall off.
You know, and so to that point,
if I'm talking that bozo off this motherfucker,
right? And I think that everyone here has talked about the pros and the cons of Shedeur Sanders on and off the field, the perceived and the real, right? Okay. But one of the knocks over
he ain't like
the
he's
last
just the
couple
best
years
quarterback
as he
out
has
there.
gone
You know
into
what I'm
the
saying?
NFL,
Like,
as there were some people who
I think Lamar Jackson probably better than
were
that
saying
nigga.
he's
You know
going to
what
have
I'm
to
saying?
fight for a QB1 spot. Right now that we know where he's picked, he's going to have to fight
Okay,
for
so it's not
a
more
QB2
reason to
spot.
trip. With the
Right?
Browns,
And then we're going to have to worry
everybody
about
fucked up.
QB1
He only
with
battling
Cleveland.
one
Right now he's fighting for
quarterback.
QB3. One of the knocks on Shedeur has been not that things were handed to
Y'all hear
him,
about
but
the
that he
Cowboys,
has not
though?
had to fight for
I'm gonna be quiet on
right,
that shit,
on the
though. Like,
football field.
we gonna let that shit rest when the time
Jackson State and then
comes.
finally getting that eligibility and then becoming that starter, right? But he is always sort of led from the front. That has been a knock on him. And so now he has to show, you know what? I can work my way up from the bottom. And whether you want to say that this was a humbling experience, whether you want to say, and you can come from a lot of different places. So I'm being very careful with how I'm choosing my words here. If you want to say that he has been humbled by this experience, there is now, you are going to be able to watch Shedeur Sanders in real time, everyone with the Cleveland Browns organization, and watch how he conducts himself from this moment forward. He is going to have to be in that building at that team facility.
Hey, but we like it though.
Prove
niggas wrong.
The NFL
you know, when niggas have to prove niggas wrong,
and you will be able to see how he interacts with everyone. It's not the word that you got from Colorado, which was a difficult word for some people to get, because everyone in Colorado are more or less signed by his father. Okay, that was another thing that was told to me during the pre-draft process. It's kind of hard getting the real solid truth out of Colorado, or something you feel is the truth, because of how potentially compromised those people could be. That was something that was said to me multiple times by multiple people. Now you get your own eyeballs on it. Now you know in real live Technicolor what this young man is all about. And so I talk about a football meritocracy. If he is that dude, if and when he does thrive in those situations, when he is in those week 1, week 2 preseason games that we all say are trash, that Roger Goodell wants to get rid of, when he does that, then there will be no denying it. Then there will be no more question marks around him, no more narratives. And so I can't wait to see it. I'm telling you what, in August, I am going to download whatever stream that I need to watch Cleveland Browns. I don't get it here at home. I will be watching the Cleveland Browns to see it with my own eyes.
Let the JJ training camp tour begin. My gosh, we're all looking forward to it, and let's hope that he uses all that fire inside of him to his advantage as Shedeur Sanders heading to the Cleveland Browns. If I were Shedeur, I'm taking a screenshot of this right here.
Mad as fuck.
This as my screensaver on my phone.
Mad as fuck,
and I'm looking at it every day before training camp ends.
Mad as hell.
Take a look at
they talking about nigga trying to turn up. Nigga, what they talking about?
Ahead of him.
What I think this is?
Shedeur Sanders, the 144th pick in round 5 of the 2025
but shit, he got
draft,
the money out, but shit. Still be mad as fuck, nigga. 144th pick, nigga. Come on, man.
Obviously, I love the Shedeur Sanders selection to the Cleveland Browns, and the reason why they're getting their franchise quarterback in the 5th round. This was my QB1 in the class. Touch, timing, accuracy, anticipation in the game situations.
Browns do need somebody. They're talking about the Cowboys, though.
Need to have it moments. This is the guy that can help change the franchise. The Cleveland Browns got themselves their future in round 5.
Turn up. Shout out to Trap Analyst, sis. Turn up. Let's get this shit right, man.
Was to slide to the 5th round. Long considered a first-round lock and the second-best quarterback in the 2025 NFL Draft behind Cam Ward, Sanders didn't come off the board until day 3, when the Cleveland Browns finally picked him with the 144th overall pick. The fall shocked analysts, fans, and players alike, creating one of the most surprising draft storylines in recent memory.
Did this happen?
Enter Cam Newton, the former NFL MVP and Carolina Panthers legend, who didn't hold back when discussing Sanders on his fourth podcast.
Fuck, nigga?
Newton
I'm drafted. Hey, I'm happy. I'm drafted. But hey, thank God, we gonna turn up though. Ain't no way. Ain't no motherfucking way.
With work, not clout. I'll say it again. Lead with work, not clout.
Okay.
Lead with you're working to be the starting quarterback to a unproven quarterback room.
This wasn't just another hot take from a former player. Newton's message carried weight. a direct challenge to Sanders' approach to the game, his media presence, and his NFL aspirations. The blunt assessment sparked debate across social media platforms and forced fans to reconsider what makes a successful NFL quarterback. When draft analysts compiled their rankings ahead of the 2025 NFL Draft, Shedeur Sanders consistently appeared near the top of their boards. The son of NFL legend Deion Primetime Sanders had proven himself on the field, leading the Big 12 in completion rate of 74.0%, passing yards of 4,134, and passing touchdowns at 37 during his final season at Colorado. Yet when draft weekend arrived, something unexpected happened. Teams passed on Sanders in the first round, then the second round, then the third and fourth. Names like Tyler Shue, Jalen Milroe, and Dylan Gabriel, quarterbacks rarely mentioned in the same tier as Sanders, heard their names called first. ESPN draft expert Mel Kiper Jr. expressed outrage at the situation, visibly frustrated on the broadcast as Sanders continued to fall. Other analysts appeared similarly stunned, with some suggesting conspiracy theories about league-wide collusion against the Sanders family. The Browns eventually selected Sanders in the fifth round, making him the 144th overall pick, far below his projected draft position. Even more tellingly, Cleveland had already selected quarterback Dylan Gabriel in the third round, 94th overall, suggesting Sanders wasn't even their first choice at the position. The contrast with his former Colorado teammate Travis Hunter couldn't have been more stark. Hunter, selected second overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars, represented everything going right in a draft process, while Sanders experienced everything going wrong. Cam Newton didn't shy away from addressing Sanders' draft slide. On his podcast, Newton focused on a fundamental issue: Sanders' approach to the quarterback position itself.
Not clout. I think he took on the persona of a DB, not a QB. As a DB, you're able to do certain things. You can speak loud and be rambunctious and have that bravado, but as a quarterback, reminder, you are the CEO of that franchise.
This perspective strikes at the heart of Newton's critique.
If a nigga
Sanders
is
had
like that,
misunderstood the essence of playing quarterback at the professional level. While defensive backs might thrive with flashy personalities and boisterous attitudes, quarterbacks face different expectations. Newton emphasized that quarterbacks are held to a different standard, one where leadership must be earned through discipline and consistent performance, not just social media presence or swagger. It's a standard
directed to you.
Standard Sanders would need to meet, especially after his unexpected draft slide revealed the NFL's hesitation about his approach. Newton advised
Shedeur Sanders, this message is directed to you. Lead with work, not clout. I think he took on the persona of a DB, not a QB. As a DB, you're able to do certain things. You can speak loud and be rambunctious and have that bravado, but as a quarterback, reminder, you are CEO of that franchise.
The five-word message encapsulated everything Sanders needed to hear: prioritize substance over style, development over displays, and professionalism over persona. Newton didn't stop at general advice. He introduced a specific framework for quarterback success that he termed the Super Six, the key relationships a franchise quarterback must maintain. The Super Six includes team owner, general manager, head coach, position coach, teammates, fans. According to Newton, these relationships form the foundation of quarterback success. They require trust, mutual respect, and consistent communication. Newton suggested that questions about these relationships, particularly concerns about how Deion Sanders' influence might affect team dynamics, likely contributed to Shedeur's draft slide.
Themselves with it, because there's so many things that you have to ask. If we draft you, will it be a circus in the locker room? If we draft you, will your father be hands-on and dictating to this organization like what you are,
like
what
that,
you're
though.
not going to do?
Newton asked rhetorically, highlighting the NFL's quiet concerns about selecting Sanders.
But we don't
This
even
question
know.
gets to
We
the
just
heart of
don't
what
know. So
teams
it's like,
fear,
how y'all can't
potential
y'all put that on,
distractions,
nigga?
divided loyalties,
know.
and challenges to organizational structure. The Super Six
That was the
framework
coach,
provides a
yeah.
roadmap for Sanders moving forward. By understanding and respecting these key relationships, he has an opportunity to rebuild his reputation and demonstrate that he can function as the CEO of an NFL franchise. For the first time in his adult football career, Shedeur Sanders will enter a season without his father as his head coach. This transition represents a significant change, one that Newton highlighted as particularly challenging.
The first time in Shedeur's life that as a grown man, he's not being coached by his dad. And that's a lot of impact. Is he deserving of a top 10 pick? Absolutely.
The former MVP recognized how this shift would fundamentally alter Sanders' football experience. The separation from Deion Sanders raises legitimate questions about Shedeur's ability to perform independently. NFL teams clearly harbored concerns about how this relationship might continue to influence the young quarterback's development and decision-making. Newton framed this challenge as an opportunity.
Is this a way where people are feeling like, yo, we want to humble this guy, even having his jersey retired? There's a meme that says Travis Hunter, number 12, and then they had number 2 Deion's son. Those type of things is going to follow you in the locker room. Daddy ain't going to be able to save you, bro.
The comment
Hey, man,
references
you
the
swim in that water,
controversial
that's
decision
facts,
to
though.
retire Sanders' jersey at Colorado
Live in the
after
hood,
just
it might
one
be young
season,
people trying to take
a
you
move
out.
that
You don't even
generated
know.
significant criticism and
Think your people
highlighted
gonna
the
hit save
unique
you,
treatment
you got to
afforded
save
to the
yourself.
Sanders family. Newton challenged Sanders to view his draft position as motivation.
Even having his jersey retired. There's a meme that says Travis Hunter, number 12, and then they had number 2 Deion's son. Those type of things is going to follow you in the locker room.
Bitch, I
Daddy
wouldn't
ain't
give
gonna
a
be able to
fuck,
save
nigga. I'm
you.
up,
So
nigga. I'm
how
winning.
does he
Fuck, they talking
take
all
that
they
on
want,
as
nigga.
a challenge to say
nigga,
people are
winning.
going to look at me, they're going to critique me for everything. I'm already coming in with this mentality or this aura that I'm larger than life, and rightfully so. Yeah. He's earned that because he has performed. But at the end of the day, dog, this is the big leagues. Yeah. This is the league.
Beyond his on-field performance, Sanders' personality and behavior received particular scrutiny during the draft process. Newton did not hesitate to address these concerns directly.
Shedeur, like, first off, I gotta hold him accountable. Right? Travis Hunter is what we would think Shedeur is supposed to be.
You think so?
Travis Hunter
He a
is
super
polished
ass
like
nigga
a
though. Like,
Shedeur is always.
nigga, I know damn well I'm sending my bitch on a mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, dance with a bunch of niggas not make no money
This
on that
assessment
fucker.
wasn't delivered as a casual observation, but as a
I don't know, man.
substantive
Not on
critique of
this dude.
Sanders'
Nah.
demeanor.
Shedeur is always.
Travis Hunter might got the skill set, but Travis Hunter don't know what the fuck.
Snobbish looking, you know
How
what I'm
to
saying?
keep a situation
I've met
right.
Shedeur multiple times where I'm looking at him, like, okay, it's just like.
The watch flex reference highlights a specific behavior that generated criticism. Sanders' habit of flashing his diamond-studded watch during games, combined with other behaviors like trolling rival teams with finger waves. These actions created a perception problem that apparently extended into his pre-draft interactions with teams. An anonymous NFL assistant coach delivered particularly harsh criticism. He said, "The worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is, he's not that good." Reports surfaced that NFL teams worried Sanders wasn't focused primarily on football. As NFL Rookie Watch posted, some NFL teams are reportedly concerned that Sanders isn't solely focused on football, but rather his rap career and creating a personality out of himself. One anonymous NFL GM reportedly believes there's red flags to Shedeur's personality between his fiery attitude and the watch flexing. Colin Cowherd suggested these personality concerns directly impacted his draft interviews, noting that Sanders' history of blaming teammates and avoiding accountability had bled into his combine interviews. These red flags clearly influence NFL decision-makers, contributing to Sanders' unexpected slide down draft boards despite his statistical success at Colorado. Newton's critique of Sanders became even more pointed when he contrasted him with former Colorado teammate Travis Hunter, who was selected second overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Second overall by the Jackson Jaguars? Damn, this is blatantly disrespect fucking Sanders.
Travis Hunter is what we think Shedeur is supposed to be.
If it wasn't for Travis Hunter,
is
he wouldn't be
polished
at
like
this
a
point.
quarterback. Despite his harsh critique, Newton didn't write Sanders off. In fact, he expressed optimism about the young quarterback's future, provided he makes the necessary adjustments. Newton offered specific advice. The former MVP even made a bold prediction about Sanders' future. This vote of confidence suggests Newton believes Sanders possesses the talent to succeed in the NFL, despite the concerns about his personality and approach. The key, in Newton's view, is for Sanders to redirect his focus away from his image and toward his development as a professional quarterback.
Now to the NFL draft drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders. Deion Sanders' son was the victim of a prank phone call that led him to believe that he was about to be drafted by the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I heard that
NBC's Larry
shit.
Spencer has more.
That's
Shedeur
wild.
Sanders found himself at the center of draft day chaos after a cruel
That is
prank,
crazy.
traced back to Jeff Ulbrich's son, sparked outrage and sent shockwaves through the NFL community, culminating in a pointed response from Sanders that has left the Ulbrich family facing significant backlash, and the Falcons
That's
organization
crazy.
in damage control mode. The drama started on Friday, April 25th, when Shedeur Sanders, once seen as a possible first-round pick, was still waiting to be drafted on day 2. A video that
But they
quickly
tried to
spread
Shedeur
online
wrong, bitch.
shows the 23-year-old Colorado quarterback getting a call from someone pretending to be New Orleans Saints GM Mickey Loomis.
How the fuck?
Next pick right here, man.
Yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The prank happened when someone called Sanders and said, "We're going to take you with our next pick, but you have to wait a little longer." Sanders looked confused and asked, "What does that mean?" What should have been a happy moment turned into
Wait,
a cruel
what?
trick that made him think he was about to be drafted. On Sunday, April 27th, the Atlanta Falcons said in a statement that 21-year-old Jax Ulbrich, son of Falcons coach Jeff Ulbrich, was behind the prank.
Wow.
They said Jax found Sanders' number on an open iPad at his parents' house and used it later to make the fake call.
Wow.
But wait, there is more. Further details revealed in an Associated Press report clarified that while Jax
Wow.
Ulbrich provided the number, he was sitting beside an unidentified friend who placed the call to Sanders, impersonating the Saints GM.
Wow.
This additional
That's
context
cold
has only
game out here,
complicated
gang.
the situation, raising questions about multiple individuals' involvement in the prank. The Falcons attempted to distance Jeff Ulbrich from the
Wow,
incident,
they tried
stating he
it.
was unaware of the data exposure or any facets of the prank and was made aware of the above only after the fact.
I
However,
was
this
seeing that shit on
explanation
TikTok,
has done little
people
to
saying
quell
some shit
public
about
outrage,
that,
with
but
many questioning
I'm like,
how
what the
such
fuck?
sensitive information could be so easily accessed in a coach's home. Following intense backlash, Jax Ulbrich issued a public apology via Instagram on Sunday, writing, "On Friday night, I made a tremendous mistake. Shedeur, what I did was completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish." His apology continued, "I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of your life, and I made a terrible mistake and messed with that moment. Thank you for accepting my call earlier today. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. At
Turn up.
Shedeur Sanders."
You better
Sanders,
apologize,
who the Cleveland Browns
bitch.
eventually selected in the 5th
Y'all
round
niggas
on
gonna
Saturday,
go into the shadow
addressed the
realm.
prank during his first conference call with Cleveland area
What are they talking about?
reporters. His response was measured but contained a clear rebuke. "Didn't really have an impact on me," Sanders said, "because it was just like, okay, I don't feed into negativity or I don't feed into that stuff. You've seen
That's
on Deion
fucked
Sanders
up, though.
Jr.'s YouTube video my
You know what I'm
reaction
saying,
to
Crip?
it.
That's fucked
I
up.
don't. It is what it is."
I
He
would have been
continued
mad
with
as
his
hell,
subtle
nigga.
yet pointed
You
critique.
bitch ass, hoe ass,
I
pussy
think,
ass,
of course,
fake
it
ass.
is childish.
Hoe ass,
Of
white boy,
course,
bitch.
I feel like it was a
Fuck out of here.
childish act, but everybody does childish things here and there. This
Crashed out.
carefully worded response has been widely interpreted as Sanders taking the high road while still clearly condemning the immature behavior that targeted him during one of the most important moments of his career. Many people are now calling for Jeff Ulbrich to face consequences, even though the Falcons are trying to protect him. On social media, fans were angry, with one saying, "They need to fire Jeff Ulbrich instantly if the number came from him. How embarrassing." Still, reports say
I mean,
the
you
Falcons
can't fire
won't punish the
somebody because of a
longtime
number,
coach,
bitch.
which
That's
has made
just game.
fans
That's
even
childish
more
shit at the
upset.
end of the day.
In a
I
statement
would take
shared
that
by
shit
the
to the
Steve
chin
Harvey
and-
Morning
and
Show,
did my shit.
Jeff Ulbrich said the prank doesn't reflect the values he taught his family. He apologized for his
bunch of
son's
bullshit,
actions
malarkey.
and said they understand how
It's
important
racist
the
ass white
draft is
boys
for players like
practicing math,
Sanders.
niggas
The
making
Falcons'
it.
official
That's
statement
what it is.
emphasized that they do not condone this behavior and sent their sincerest apologies to Sanders and his family. The team also claimed to have facilitated an apology from Jax to the Sanders family. and stated they have been in contact with the NFL regarding the incident. We have also been in contact with the NFL and will continue to cooperate fully with any inquiries we may receive from the NFL League office, the statement noted. We are thoroughly reviewing all protocols and updating, if necessary, to help prevent an incident like this from happening again. The situation is particularly awkward given the Sanders family's connection to the Falcons organization. Shedeur's father, Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, began his illustrious NFL career with the Atlanta Falcons before going on to become one of the greatest cornerbacks in league history. Deion now serves as the head coach at Colorado, where Shedeur played quarterback. All of this happened just as Jeff Ulbrich should be celebrating. The Falcons had a strong draft focused on defense, picking 4 defensive players early, including Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. Ulbrich, who briefly led the New York Jets last season, was recently hired back to Atlanta as a coach. While Shedeur Sanders prepares to begin his NFL journey with the Cleveland Browns, his brother Shiloh Sanders, who was not selected in the draft, has signed a contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent on Saturday, April 26th. Their father, Deion Sanders, reacted to his sons joining the NFL with a simple message: God is good.
Thank Yahweh.
The incident serves as a stark reminder of the intense pressure and emotional roller coaster that draft prospects face during one of the most significant moments of their careers.
That's a fact.
Sanders' fall in the draft was already a major storyline, with the quarterback once projected as a potential top 5 pick, ultimately waiting until the 5th round to hear his name called. Despite the additional stress caused by the prank call, Sanders has demonstrated remarkable composure throughout the ordeal. His handling of this situation has already shown the maturity and poise that the Cleveland Browns will undoubtedly appreciate as he transitions to professional football. The implications of this incident extend beyond just the individuals involved, raising serious questions about data security during the NFL draft process and the consequences for those who misuse confidential information. As the league and the Falcons continue their investigation, many are watching closely to see if further action will be taken against all parties responsible for this unprecedented breach of draft protocol.
The College Football Hall of Famer and former star wide receiver for Oklahoma State arrested over the weekend. Justin Blackmon was arrested early Saturday morning near the OSU campus for public.
Justin Blackmon, once a college football legend, now making headlines for a shocking new reason. Just weeks after being celebrated for his achievements, he's found himself at the center of yet another troubling incident. Let's take a closer look. The story began at Oklahoma State University, where campus police responded to a call about an intoxicated man lying on the ground near the Edmund Lowe Library. By the time Officer Justin Hart arrived, the man had walked into the Nancy Randolph Davis building. The officer later confirmed this individual was Justin Blackmon, the former Oklahoma State football star.
Because he's black walking around looking at stuff.
Black beverage on his breath in person. According to police records, Blackman's speech was slurred and confusing as he repeatedly told officers his home was Stillwater prior to his arrest at 2:17 a.m. He was subsequently booked and processed at the Payne County Jail, though records listed Ardmore as his hometown.
Responding officers say that he had slurred and confused speech, that he told them that he was walking home but refused to give them a valid address. This is the latest in a line of arrests, including multiple DUI charges.
The incident details revealed more troubling aspects of the arrest. Blackmon was reportedly wearing wet clothes, and officers struggled to manage the former NFL wide receiver during transport. The police report obtained by TMZ Sports stated officers were unable to fit Blackmon in the back of a standard police car due to his body size and had to request a larger vehicle to take him to jail. The report indicated that officers needed 2 sets of handcuffs because of Blackmon's body size and the girth of his wrists. His booking information listed him at 230 pounds, which is 20 pounds above his NFL playing weight, according to Pro Football Reference. The series of events began when Oklahoma State Police received a call about a larger black male lying on the ground at 1:32 a.m. Saturday. When officers encountered Blackmon, they noticed him wobbling and detected the smell of alcohol. He reportedly told them he was attempting to walk home, but officers noted his speech was difficult to understand. Blackmon reportedly kept informing officers he was headed to Stillwater. When they explained that Stillwater was a place rather than a specific address, he admitted he didn't live in the area, saying, "You got me." The former football star then turned around and placed his hands on his back before being told he was under arrest. This public intoxication charge carries potential penalties of up to $100 in fines or imprisonment of up to 30 days, or both, according to Oklahoma.gov.
He big as hell,
Blackman has since been released from jail and could not be reached for comment on the incident.
On a possession in Barry, he is currently suspended indefinitely by the NFL for under the substance abuse policy. I can't imagine this bodes well for his chances to play anytime soon for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, so he got drafted.
Unfortunate time for the 35-year-old former wide receiver. Just last month, Oklahoma State University had announced Blackman would be inducted into the OSU Ring of Honor this fall. This recognition was to celebrate his remarkable collegiate career, where he became the only player to win the Biletnikoff Award twice as college football's best receiver during his time with the Cowboys from 2009 to 2011. But wait, there is more.
Alright, we back. So as y'all see from that point, man, that white dude was fucking bonkers. That white man got no rocker, bitch. Like, nah, bitch, you had a horrible take. Horrid take. Nigga, that shit horrible, bitch. But, like, at a point in time, man, motherfuckers think, like, these motherfuckers just, like, you gotta understand, Shedeur Sanders has the experience. You know what I'm saying? He been around this shit, like, since he was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you think he'd probably be like a little bit, oh yeah, I can do that? Probably so. But at the same time, he had put up good games. Even though y'all gave credit to like Travis Hunter, Travis Hunter is pretty good, bro. He can play cornerback and receiver. Hell yeah, you might get drafted like in the first 5 players of the pick in the draft. Hell yeah, you playing 2 positions, bitch. The fuck going on? Like, nigga, you know what I mean? Niggas probably like, they gonna use your ass. Pause, you know what I'm saying? Out on the field. Like, hell yeah, but like, Shedeur Sanders, I still feel like he put a lot of the team on his back. He took some of the shine, like not like that, but like, you know how you be like a real lit nigga. So yeah, you take some of the negativity away from the other players so they can just be themselves. And they all just focus on your ass. You just, nigga, we out here, like that, all goofy shit. But then the other players, they trying to shine. Then look at this. Travis Hunter now, at the end of the season, getting caught up with that fucking, his girlfriend cuck scandal. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, when Shedeur Sanders out there, yeah, nigga, he performing. He doing his thing. He let the other players shine on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like while he doing his, you know what I'm saying? He doing it. He let them only focus on take away the negative. You know what I'm saying? So he just gotta take the good with the bad. Like, he do got a kind of crazy dad, but shit, it ain't like it's like, yeah, you might want somebody on your team want to force your ass to get better, and you know what I'm saying? Hey man, but yeah, like subscribe, man. Like I said, man, I do feel like he deserved to be in a higher position than what he was. But at the same time, it's time to perform and prove people wrong, prove yourself wrong. And he already has the money on, so it's like shit. He just trying to like shit. I don't know if he's still trying to get the bag, but shit, he got a bag and shit. Fuck it, nigga. I'm going out there like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I'm going out there just to put on my back and go and put the work in. You know what I'm saying? But hey. You know how it goes, man. We're gonna see how it goes for you being the fucking Birds. I mean, not the Birds, the Browns. Hey, they just can't get it right. Hood and outside, big cripping it. Yeah, shit outside shit. Hope they can this year. Real.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.